Before you continue reading, imagine standing on a set where months of unforgettable memories are about to come to an end. Imagine the cameras have stopped rolling for the very last time. The lights are beginning to dim, and everyone believes the evening will end with nothing more than applause and group photographs. Then imagine one unexpected moment changing everything. A simple gesture becomes an unforgettable memory. Smiles turn into tears. Silence fills the room. Stay with this story until the very last sentence because the final surprise brings the entire journey together in a way nobody could have imagined. When you finish reading, share your thoughts in the comments and tell us what you would have done if you had been there to witness this remarkable farewell. The final day of filming arrived beneath a bright blue sky. The enormous studio looked different from every other morning. There was excitement. There was relief. There was also a quiet feeling that something special was about to end. Crew members who had worked together for months greeted one another with warm smiles. Some laughed while remembering funny mistakes from earlier filming days. Others quietly walked across the set, taking one last look at every familiar corner before everything would soon be dismantled. The historical palace set stood as beautifully as it had on the first day. Colorful banners moved gently in the afternoon breeze. Stone walkways reflected the golden sunlight. Elegant gardens surrounded peaceful courtyards. Everything appeared almost magical. The director gathered everyone together before the first scene of the day. He thanked every department for their dedication. He reminded everyone that great productions are never created by actors alone. Every costume designer, every lighting technician, every camera operator, every makeup artist, every assistant, every person had helped create something unforgettable. The entire team applauded. Several people smiled proudly. The final scenes began. Every performer delivered their lines with extraordinary focus. Nobody wanted the last day to feel ordinary. Every expression carried gratitude. Every movement reflected months of hard work. When the final scene finally arrived, complete silence spread across the set. The cameras rolled. The actors performed with remarkable sincerity. The director watched every second carefully. Nobody moved unnecessarily. Nobody wanted to interrupt the moment. Then the final line was spoken. For several seconds, the entire set remained completely quiet. The director slowly stood. A wide smile appeared across his face. He raised his hand and proudly announced the words everyone had waited months to hear. That is a wrap. Applause immediately echoed throughout the enormous studio. Crew members embraced one another. Laughter mixed with happy tears. Photographers captured unforgettable moments. Some people immediately reached for their phones to record memories before the beautiful sets disappeared forever. A celebration had been prepared nearby. Long tables displayed delicious meals. Photographs from the production decorated the walls. Large screens replayed behind-the-scenes memories collected throughout the filming journey. Everywhere people looked, they found another reminder of the friendships built during countless long days together. As everyone enjoyed the celebration, Zhang Linghe quietly slipped away for a few moments. Few people noticed. Those who did simply assumed he wanted a brief moment of reflection before returning to the gathering. Several minutes later, he walked back carrying a simple wooden box. Nobody knew what it contained. Curiosity quietly spread throughout the room. He placed the box on a small table positioned at the center of the celebration. The room slowly became silent. Even the music softened. Without any dramatic introduction, he smiled warmly and thanked everyone for making the production feel like a second home. He spoke about the first rehearsal, the nervous excitement of meeting new colleagues, the challenges everyone overcame together, the laughter shared between scenes, the countless moments that audiences would never see behind the cameras. His words were calm, gentle, completely sincere. As he continued speaking, many cast members lowered their heads while listening. Several crew members smiled through watery eyes. The atmosphere became increasingly emotional. Then Zhang Linghe opened the wooden box. Inside were dozens of handwritten envelopes. Each carried the name of someone who had worked on the production. Not only the principal cast. Every department had been included. Lighting technicians, sound engineers, costume assistants, drivers, production assistants, editors, security staff. Everyone. The room became completely still. One by one, the envelopes were distributed. Each contained a handwritten note thanking that individual for a specific act of kindness that had helped make the journey unforgettable. Some notes remembered encouraging conversations during difficult days. Others recalled funny moments that kept everyone's spirits high. Some simply thanked people for always arriving with a smile that made long filming schedules easier. Nobody expected such thoughtful attention to detail. People slowly opened their envelopes. As they read, quiet smiles appeared across the room. Some laughed softly. Others became deeply emotional. Several crew members admitted nobody had ever thanked them so personally before. The director himself paused while reading his letter. He looked toward Zhang Linghe with genuine appreciation before quietly applauding. Soon the entire room joined him. The applause continued for several minutes. It was not applause for a performance. It was applause for gratitude. Tian Shiwei looked around the room, watching people read their messages with heartfelt emotion. She smiled warmly as she realized that every letter had been written by hand. Weeks of preparation had quietly taken place without anyone noticing. Nearby, another cast member gently remarked that the greatest scenes are sometimes the ones that never appear on screen. The celebration continued with renewed warmth. Stories filled the room. People shared memories inspired by the handwritten letters. The atmosphere became even more joyful than before. Later in the evening, the director invited everyone outside for one final group photograph. The sun slowly disappeared beyond the horizon, covering the set with beautiful golden light. Everyone gathered together. Actors stood beside crew members. Producers stood beside assistants. Departments that rarely appeared in photographs finally shared the same frame. Just before the camera captured the picture, Zhang Linghe quietly thanked everyone one final time. He reminded them that awards eventually gather dust. Sets are eventually dismantled. Scripts are placed back onto shelves. But genuine friendships remain long after the final scene has been completed. The photographer counted down. The camera captured the moment forever. As darkness gently settled across the studio, people slowly began saying goodbye. Some promised to work together again. Others exchanged phone numbers. Many remained standing in small groups long after the celebration officially ended because nobody wanted the evening to finish. Months later, when the drama finally premiered, audiences admired the performances, the beautiful cinematography, and the unforgettable story. Those who had shared that final wrap remembered something even more meaningful. Not the applause. Not the decorations. Not the farewell dinner. They remembered the handwritten letters that reminded everyone that every contribution matters and every act of kindness leaves a lasting impression. Perhaps that was the true ending of the journey. Not the final scene. Not the closing credits. But a room filled with grateful hearts discovering that the most unforgettable moments are often the quiet ones shared far away from the spotlight. If this story stayed with you until the very end, share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe for more entertainment stories, and tell us which behind-the-scenes moment you would love to imagine next.